Hey, and welcome back for more Dicing with Death. So, Ryan, you've headed off with this guy who calls himself Silver.
He said others call him Silver.
Well, yeah, who
That's what
has
they
other
call
people call him Silver.
him.
Um, and you head out into the woods at night looking for orcs.
That's how you get yourself killed. But hey, I've got to. How often do you have a grizzled veteran named Silver to watch your back?
Rarely. Very rarely.
All right.
So,
So I walk side by side with Silver,
okay, he
shield on my shoulder, and
he
hammer in
goes
my
down
hand.
the southern path and says, "You show me where you saw those orcs, and we'll pick up their trail from there."
All right. How many hours south of town was it?
It's like 2 hours south of town, maybe three.
Okay. Was there any like distinguishing features of the road? Was it, like at a bend or
I mean, you'll be able
like
to
what I?
spot it. There was like a large formation of rocks off to the side. Looks like maybe a massive boulder was sunk halfway into the ground.
Uh huh.
Hmm.
Okay. So I walk until we find that boulder, unless some orcs jump us before.
No, you managed to make it back to more or less the same place, and yeah, I mean, you find the place. So you don't see any signs of the orcs having been here.
Is there no bloodstains in the road from the woman or anything like that, or
No.
drag marks?
You start looking around for drag marks. Give me
Okay,
a
so I say,
perception check.
yeah, it was here, and I start looking around.
Okay.
And
He
assume
bends
that he
down on the
didn't
ground, lights a torch, and holds it over for you to give you guys light. And he quickly spots a set
critical
of
fail.
ooh, terrible. He rolled a natural 18, so he spots the marks pretty quickly and goes,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I see him. Looks like someone was here and dragged off that way." And he points off into the woods and heads out with you, or heads out in the
Follow just
direction.
behind him or by his side if I can.
Okay.
How thick are the woods?
I mean, you could walk side by side and occasionally duck behind him when he has to go between some other
Um,
stuff.
does it look like there are three? I ask Silver.
He nods. You see three independent sets of tracks followed by drag marks. Um, And he keeps wandering into the woods a little bit further and a little bit further. And after maybe 100 yards, he puts out the torch and turns to you and says, "This should be their territory now. It's unlike orcs to hunt around areas they can't retreat back to a base from, which is unusual. I wouldn't have expected an orc base south of the road, but I wouldn't also expect them to take any hostages unless they had a place to go. They're not entirely stupid creatures, you see."
I nod.
How
The
did you know they were
rivers-
the Blackfoot clan?
They told me.
You spoke to one of them?
I nod.
What do you say? Orcs rarely speak the common tongue.
I gave some of his boys a whooping, and he commented on my fighting skills. Gave me a free pass. I didn't want to take three orcs by myself, so took the opportunity to skedaddle.
Did you get this guy's name?
He called himself Chief Black Wolf. I think it was Black Wolf.
Hmm.
Something Wolf.
She shakes his head. "I don't know any chief by the name of Black Wolf." And you guys proceed through the woods for a little ways. Give me perception checks. Well, I guess check, because there's only one player.
Nope.
No.
20.
Okay.
And it's dark, so I probably get a penalty.
It's dark. So you guys are trekking through the woods, going as slowly and quietly as you can. When you hear a "garbark, garbark, bark," It's a voice speaking a language you don't understand, but it's, kind of like directed.
Can I tell if it sounds like they're like alerting someone of our presence, or whether it's like a conversational?
The
Arky.
silver in front of you pauses and slowly
Yeah,
puts his
I
hands
pause.
up in the air.
You speak Orc?
He nods.
Are we surrendering?
He
I'm putting
nods.
my hands up as well.
Okay.
I haven't dropped my weapon quite yet though, and my shield's still strapped to my arm.
Okay.
Does silver? Actually, my hammer's at my waist.
So Silver, from in front of you, outsteps a man. You recognize him as the orc from before that spoke common, the axe over his shoulder, and you hear behind you, give a quick glance back, and you see 4 orcs, 2 on either side, stepping out from the bushes. 2 with bows, 2 with spears. The men with spears look, well, maybe not familiar, but they seem to be looking at you like you're familiar.
Good silver.
And there's a quick smattering of barking between Silver and the lead orc, followed by Silver putting his arms down, walking over, and giving the guy a hug. Like a big warrior clasping one arm, beating each other on the back sort of hug. And
I look around skeptically.
the other orcs, the spearmen lower their spears, but the bowmen keep their bows trained on you. And Silver turns back to you and says, "Honey, you really shouldn't have gotten involved in any of this. Sorry for what's going to happen to you later." And he puts an arm around the lead orc and walks off into the woods with him. One of the bowmen heads off too, and the 2 spearmen and the 1 bowman are left with you. What do you do?
I'm gonna start following after Silver and the lead orc. See if
You take a step and you hear a loud bark behind you.
I look behind me. How far behind me are they?
20 feet.
I say what?
Do you turn to face them, or do you stay?
Yeah, I turned to face them.
The 2 spearmen seem to be yelling at the bowman about something, and he lowers his bow. Fucking mosquitoes. As they raise their spears and move towards you together, anger and hatred in their eyes. And we should roll for
I'll go ahead and roll
initiative.
for initiative. I'm at a significant advantage from last time, but these guys should be wounded. 10.
Okay, one of them goes before you. The first orc steps up, takes a few, kind of jogs up towards you, spear in hand, and thrusts it at you for a 12 to hit. I don't think so.
How are we doing bonuses and penalties? I have 17 AC, so I have either a 15 AC or you'll give them a +2 to hit.
No, you get a penalty of 2 to hit for.
So I have 15 AC.
Okay, so the 12 is a miss. The spear clatters into your armor, scraping alongside as you.
I return fire against the orc that closed with a critical.
Holy shit!
That's what I needed. What is his?
That does clear by 5. So give me double damage.
9 points.
Holy
Is this
crap.
the first guy or the second guy?
This is I mean, you can't tell the 2 orcs apart. They're all the same to you. But you bash his head in, and he just crumples to the ground. As the other orc gives a hearty yell and goes to skewer you with a 15, which is a hit.
In the dark, it just barely hits me.
He stabs you for 6 points of damage.
Ouch. All right, initiative.
The bowman yells something, and the spear-wielding orc yells something back. And the spear-wielding orc goes first. He slashes low at your ankles with a 14 to hit.
15 AC.
15
in
AC.
the dark.
Misses you completely.
All right, I need to finish this guy quick. I don't know how long that bowman's going to stay out of this. No, I'm not going to do it.
No. Initiative next round. Oh,
13.
13 is a tie. Can you please re-roll?
12.
12 is a tie. Can you please re-roll?
11.
Okay, now you go first.
Fuck. Nope. Miss.
All right. Orc comes up, spear in hand. 7 is a miss. And the bowman yells out again, to which the speared orc yells back. And you see the bowman at this point is like just dragging the guy who you bashed in the head away, and is attempting to bind his wounds.
Which direction? So I got the impression that these guys camped behind me, right?
Yeah, they came up behind you, and you were going slightly uphill. So he's dragging the guy back down the way that you came towards the road a little bit, like just 15 feet out of combat to start like binding the head wound. Did he make his attack? Yeah, he made his attack. Initiative.
We need to roll initiative. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out. Sorry, what the bowman was going. So the bowman is walking like around us.
No,
Like,
because so you had 2 guys in front of you, right? One of them came from the left, one of them came from the right, but they still came from roughly in front of you. You bashed one of their heads in, who toppled back, and now you've been kind of sparring with this
But
guy.
the camp is behind me now. I'm between these guys and the camp.
Yes, or at least in the direction that their allies headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Correct.
So like off to my left now, the bowman is passing me, dragging.
No. He's dragging the body away, not towards the camp. He's dragging the body back towards the road.
Oh.
Like he's preparing to deal with the corpse, the body here and now. So he's just dragging his friend away. He's just dragging his friend downhill towards the road, like 15 feet, and then leans over and starts binding wounds.
Oh, okay. He does bind his wounds.
Yes.
Doesn't mean for dead. Oh, that guy. He's probably pretty close to dead.
Probably.
All right. 9 initiative.
Okay, you go first.
God, what?
You can't hit anything. The orc comes over and hits you with a 17, digging his spear into you for 4 points of damage.
All right.
Initiative. Ooh, 16.
16 initiative.
Yeah.
I'm casting a spell. I was looking at casting time. 5. But there's actually no way I can roll less than a 16.
No. Okay.
Damn it, and I get a 6. So cast Cure Light Wounds on myself for 5 points of damage.
And
yeah.
the orc. Did we say he gets an attack of opportunity if you're casting a spell?
Oh.
In melee?
I don't think you get. No, he doesn't get an attack of opportunity.
What's the disadvantage for casting a spell in melee?
If you get hit, you lose concentration.
Okay.
Maybe casting a spell. Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, if you can find it, because I remember arguing about this with people, but I could never. I don't remember what the actual
Play
rules.
way
of the
cushier
says.
than. And the player's handbook tends to indicate.
Touch spells in combat.
Magic. Caster cannot move to dodge attacks, blah blah blah. If he's struck by a weapon or fails to make a saving throw, the casting is disrupted. Once the casting is begun, the character must stand still. Can't be accomplished while riding a horse, blah blah blah. I don't think it provokes an opportunity attack. I think if you take damage.
Because to me, it seems kind of like the concept of opportunity attack derives from you're dropping your guard for a moment when you're engaged closely with someone. And so if you're like in combat and then you stop like defending yourself to cast a spell, it feels like that would give it an opportunity attack. just don't see any. I don't have my.
I
books.
think the rules are brutal enough against spell casting to begin with. Why would they throw in opportunity attacks? But
Because they don't think about it in terms of brutal. They think about it in terms of what makes sense.
yeah,
Okay. Well, we'll roll with this for now. So you get your spell off. No opportunity attack for the orc, but he closes with his spear again and rolls a 12 to hit, which does not clear your armor. The bowman mutters something and kicks the body of his friend, who he was trying to bind the wounds, and drops these bloody rags on the ground. Pulls out a short sword and joins the melee. So roll me initiative.
12.
The short sword goes before you, but you tie with the spearman. So can you roll again?
Just between me and the spearman.
Yeah.
7.
Okay, so short sword, you, then spearman. The short sword orc comes up, brings the sword around to your side, gets it stuck in your shield as you.
Ugh.
Saving throw versus death.
I think that's a fail.
You're.
No, I have a 10.
Okay. So
I'm
it's barely
fine.
a pass. You just completely whiff your warhammer, like slicing through the night air, as the orc comes up from underneath with his spear and gets it stuck on the bottom of your shield.
I
and
stick my shield on the top of the spear. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Initiative.
11.
They both go first. It's been maybe like 8 minutes now since the other guys left. The battle
Probably
is
making
kind of,
quite a racket.
yes. 14 and a 9. Both misses.
Miss. My last chance. I'm still going for the spearman.
Okay.
What the
Nope.
fuck rolls?
Okay. The spearman
And
is getting desperate,
14.
and so he decides to change up his strategy. He drops his spear and goes to just tackle you, which does give you an opportunity attack at +4, but if you miss, he's going to tackle you probably.
Is he? So you rolled their initiative already?
Yes, and a 13 does go before you.
13 to hit.
That hits their armor class. Yeah,
3 points of damage. Finish him off.
it does. So he goes for a full-on bear tackle at you, just like bring you to the ground. You whap him in the side as he comes at you. He collapses. I totally forgot about the short sword guy who actually goes before that, who comes up, seeing his friend tackle on top of you, and you beat him to the ground. He comes up to slash you, and 18. 19.
That's a hit.
19, but your AC is 15 in the dark?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Is
no
it natural
crit.
18.
It's a natural 18. No crit, but it does do.
It needs to clear by 5.
Yeah, it does do 3 points of damage to you.
All right.
Warhammer guy is lying unconscious on the ground. It's just you
Spear
and
guy.
Bowman guy. I'm sorry, yeah, Spearman guy.
Hammer guy.
You and Bowman guy, who's been turned into short sword guy. And
I shout menacingly into his face. 6.
and miss.
I'll circle strafe around him, bringing my back now to the road, giving him the opportunity to flee towards his camp if he'd like, and I miss with my warhammer. I'm going to use my movement to back away from him,
Okay.
so force him to like re-engage if
Yeah,
he wants.
he takes the opportunity to leave and does so, and runs off into the woods. God, night of bad rolls.
I'm going to go try and get some orc ears.
There's these two corpses here. One of
I
them
don't
is
have any-
clearly dead. One of them is currently bleeding out.
I have a steel dagger that I took off that ship.
Yep.
So I'll take this opportunity to unsheath it, chop off 2 ears from the right ears of the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even bother to put them out of their misery, and walk back to the road with my orc ears. A
Okay.
little bit pissed off.
You make it
Gotta
back to
send
the
them
road.
off
You know,
Fucking
it's 100 yards
silver.
down the way.
And middle of the night, I just start the slow trudge back north to Threndel.
Okay. You get back to Threndel a few hours later. It is very dark now. You see the light in the inn is all but out. There's just like a little candle left. Everyone seems to have gone to bed.
I stagger into the inn.
Okay. You stagger in. The innkeeper looks up and goes, "Oh, well, there you are. Where's Silver?"
Bloody traitor.
What? What do you mean?
I plop myself down on the bar and slam 2 orc ears on the table. Say, he's with the
Innkeeper.
orcs.
He's been captured? My
No.
God.
No. He serves with the orcs.
No. Silver's the best orc hunter in town.
I shake my head. Him and the chief hugged like old buddies.
Well,
Left me for dead.
that would mean he hasn't been hunting orcs out there.
Has he been bringing back ears? Are these even worth anything?
He nods. The sheriff ought to give you a couple silver for each. Handful of silver. It'd be a terrible thing if Silver was working with the orcs, because that'd mean he hasn't been out in the woods all this time hunting orcs, and that.
I don't know where he's getting all those orc ears, but I thought there weren't any orcs.
There aren't supposed to be. We fought a war with them.
I lay a silver down on the table, and I was like, I need a drink.
The innkeeper pours you some whiskey.
I guess I put the orc ears in my coin purse, now empty.
Okay. He pours you a stiff drink, 3 fingers worth of whiskey, and finds a pot of beans and ladles you out some cold beans.
Yeah.
And gives you a stale end of bread.
Yeah, I slowly eat and drink. It's probably like the middle of the night, so I'll probably just like sit in the bar stool till morning, eating the rest of my cold beans slowly and sipping my whiskey.
Yeah, so the sun should be up in a couple of hours. It's about 4 right now.
Okay, yeah, so I'll kill a few hours here, and then at first light, I'm gonna go find the sheriff.
Okay, first light rolls around. You're tired. You're groggy. You've been hiking all day long. You fought some orcs. You've been stabbed twice, 3 times.
Yeah, there's some magical healing involved.
You find the sheriff the next morning as the sun comes up. He is hanging out in his little sheriff office, and as you walk in, he looks up and goes, "Well, if another tough son of a bitch come to get me in trouble, what are you doing here?"
I reach in my coin purse and pull out 2 orc ears. Say, I hear these are worth something.
I haven't seen orc ears in some time. I think that bounty's still up, so thanks. He roots around in a drawer and produces 10 silver coins. You can just toss those in that bucket over there, though. We don't actually want to keep them.
Are there any other orc ears in the bucket?
No, it looks like there's puke in the bucket.
Okay. Say, you know an old bastard by the name of Silver?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's normally the one who brings these things in.
He's in league with the orcs. He led me out into the woods into a trap. I had to fight my way through those 2 to get back.
Really? Then where's he getting the ears?
That's a good question. But he hugged the chief like they were old buddies. We set out last night on what I thought was an orc hunt. We found him. He hugged the chief like they were old buddies, and he left me for dead. Had to fight my way through. Well, killed 2, chased off the 3rd. Barely made it back to town.
Just doesn't sound like the guy that I know, but you ever met this Silver Man before?
Not till last night.
Anyone else see you guys meet?
Yeah, the innkeep did.
All right, I'll go have a chat with him, see what's going on. Thank you
York,
for your. What'd you call your name?
Varissa. Say, the York
Thank you.
camp is just about 2 hours south of town, east towards the river.
Thanks for the information. I'm Sheriff Rottingham. I'll see you around, maybe.
All right. I'm going to head back to the innkeeper.
Okay, well then you end up actually walking back with
Okay.
him to the innkeeper.
Oh,
It's an
well, that's
it's one of those
awkward.
like see you later, and then you both head in the same direction, and it's really
Mhm.
awkward the whole way there. But you both arrive at the inn sometime later.
Silver orc lover. I would have been happy to join him in the orcs if he had invited me, but instead he was a real dick about it.
Yeah,
Sheriff Rottingham.
Sheriff Rottingham.
Rindle. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the inn. I'll let this. Well, yeah. What are you laughing at? Is chat doing something stupid again?
They think it's a silly name, and I think they're silly for thinking it's a silly name. It's a
I think it's a
fantastic
great
name.
name for a sheriff.
It's a great name for a sheriff. You guys need to have more fun with your D&D.
All right. So we head back to the inn. I wanted to get a room and sleep, and then ask about Pringle, but I'll probably let the sheriff ask his questions or whatever.
I mean, Sheriff pretty much asked the exact same things he asked of you. He's like just getting a second opinion. And the guy's like, yeah, the two of them were here. She said something about orcs. They were introduced. She ran out after him and then came back by herself with orc ears, and he didn't come back. And the sheriff's like, well, that's blah, blah, blah. I'll alert people, tell everyone you know that Silver's a traitor, and let me know if you ever see him in town again.
I've sullied this poor man's name.
Yeah.
That's what he gets.
Um,
Sorry for what's going to happen to you tonight. Oh boy.
yeah.
If I was a higher level character, I would have dispatched those orcs and went after him and the chief too.
Yeah. Well, not this time.
All right.
The innkeeper
So I-
gives you a room.
Yeah. How much for a room?
3 silver
5.
for the night.
You said 5 silver for food
For
as well?
food and
or-
lodgings, yeah. So if you want
Oh.
a full day of food and sleep, then 5 souls.
Yeah, I'll rest up and get some spells. And say so. The real reason I came here, aside from before I got sidetracked by those orcs, I'm looking for for lack of a better word, a wizard by the name of Pringle.
Oh,
got
that
a
crazy
cat.
guy with the blue robes and the pointy hat?
Yeah, have you seen him around recently?
Yeah, motherfucker came through town 2 days ago? 1 day ago? A couple days ago.
Why do you say motherfucker?
Because his cat kept sitting on the bar. He put the cat on the bar and then proceeded to drink and eat and talk to the cat the whole night. It was really weird, and it wigged out some of my customers, and I was glad to see him gone the next day. I think he was said he was headed to Darden. Something about trying to get there a couple of times now, and each time getting distracted on the way. I don't know.
A couple days now. I'm never gonna catch him before Darden. All right.
What's your interest in this Pringle guy?
Nothing. I just need to ask him. It doesn't matter. I'll never catch him anyways. All right. I'm gonna go upstairs immediately and sleep through the day.
Okay, you sleep through the day.
I need more orc ears.
All right, next day.
I'm gonna memorize. Should I do the bullshit with Orisons?
It's your call.
No. Sure. Well. No, I'm gonna memorize 2 cure light wounds. YOLO this.
Okay.
Damn it! Should have gone with the Orisons.
Ooh. Did you just roll 6 total?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that brings you to full, right?
No, I'm at 11 out of 14 now.
Oh, shit, you have a lot of life.
Yeah, I rolled pretty well.
Yeah. What's your con?
Nada.
Hmm.
Con is 9. I think
Alright.
I rolled an 8 and a 6.
Yeah.
Well, I originally rolled like a really crappy, and it was less than half, and you had me re-roll, and I rolled an 8.
Nice, nice. Okay, so you head off. Well, you sleep all day, and then where do you go? What do you do when?
I guess I'm gonna head south to Ritule.
Okay, so you head out in the evening then,
Mm-hmm.
and you walk
Yeah,
through
whenever
the
I wake
night.
up from my nap. Oh crap. I should find a water skin. I'm no longer along the river.
Oh shit! All right, I left one of my books downstairs. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll just... Is he turning your chat against you? How's it going, chat? It's gonna be a huge delay, and you're not even gonna hear this until Neil gets back. What good is that gonna do us? How will we ever plan the Hobgoblin Uprising? Alright, so I'm looking for a water skin so I don't die of thirst. Guess I'm not, because I think apparently that's 8 silver. So I guess I'm dying of thirst. I may be like buying... How much does like a jar cost?
Okay, so you're walking through the woods at night,
Hold, I'm trying to figure out my drinking situation.
as in what you are drinking.
What my character is drinking.
Oh,
Trying to figure out
water.
how to drink water. Apparently, a wine skin costs 8 silver, which I can't afford. Fuck that fucking bear. I can get a jar of lamp oil for 6 copper and dump out the lamp oil.
I think a wineskin comes with wine, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. What about a water? Where's the water? There's no water skin here.
I would say the skin.
Hold on a sec. Okay. A glass bottle costs 10 GP, but a flask of lamp oil costs 6 copper. Maybe it's like a ceramic flask.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a glass flask.
Okay.
I think you can probably get a wine skin or a water skin for like 35 copper, and then you could fill it up for free.
I don't even know if I can justify afford. Like, how am I going to eat then? I guess water is more important than food.
Yeah.
All right. It's hard out here for an adventurer. Or I guess role playing a priest and not really caring about money.
Mm-hmm.
Letting the beleaguered men take all my loots. All right. So I grab my water skin and head south out of town.
Okay, you head south out of town through the night
Nightfall.
in the forest.
Actually, southwest out of town. Towards Ritule.
No. Okay. So you head out towards Ritule. The night is fairly uneventful, and sometime late into the night you pull into Ritule, which does have a wall around it.
Okay.
There is a single man on duty at the wall, kind of looking over down towards you are, like just leaning against the wall, gazing at you slowly as you approach, like he doesn't have any cares in the world. Like, what's your business?
Walking. What's it look like?
Why are you coming to town so late? You with the beleaguered men?
Do I look like a man to you?
You got some weapons and armor on you.
I gotta be careful. There's orcs south of Threndel,
Orcs. He gets up and
and with these beleaguered men, Never be too careful.
Hold on, hold on. And he runs down below, opens the gate for you, and goes, "Orcs? What? Explain yourself, woman."
I, orcs. I'd show you the ears, but I sold them to the sheriff back in Threndel.
How many?
I saw. I killed 2. I saw at least 5. But where there's 5, there's usually a whole pack, right? I don't know. I'm too young to remember the war.
Yeah, I don't remember it either, but my dad says that the orcs were pretty ferocious fighters, that they stand over 6 feet tall and have thick, bulging muscles.
Your dad's an honest man.
Well, come inside then, and take care. And he shuts the door behind you, and seems as if he's about to follow you out, and then thinks better of it and heads back to his post on the wall.
Okay.
It is dark 30. What do you do?
I'll head to an inn.
Okay, you make your way to an inn. It's just about sunrise now.
This is way different than Chucky's campaigns.
You have to work and think for yourself.
Oh man, I'm so used to just having infinite money, and it's just like just go to town, just get some inns and all the food and drink your character wants. And
Yeah.
I'd almost rather be out sleeping in the woods, so I don't have to. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, everyone. Yeah.
I'm gonna head to an inn.
Okay, you get to an inn. There is a
Oh
sleeping.
God, I don't even have enough. Oh, I blew last my money on that.
Yeah, you can't afford
Water
an inn
skin.
for the night.
I can maybe get a crust of bread or something.
Yeah. So you show up, the innkeeper's like, "Oh, I'm sorry there's no hot food anymore, but we can get a room for you if you'd like."
Nah, it's just blown through, I think. I lay a silver down on the table and ask for whatever crust of bread's lying around.
He gets you some cold beans and some
Fucking
dry
beans.
bread.
Does he seem up for chatting, or is he like, give me the food and disappear?
He asks your name, but only to write in his logbook. Doesn't seem too
Writes
interested in
down,
conversation.
gets my name for just grabbing some food?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I tell him my name's Versa. I think that's
mean-
eventually going to catch up with me. I'm trying to remember when I've used a fake name. I guess like when the shit went down in Darden, I don't think my name was ever came up, but I'm not entirely sure. And I'm damn near positive you aren't sure either. I know when I was like selling that wagon off, I was going by Martha.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was just the wagon times that your name was Martha.
Wishing I had some of that gold now.
Yeah, you could easily slipped a few of that 100 gold into your own pocket. Skim
Excuse
off
me.
the top. Could have gotten 10%, man. No one
Yeah.
would have known.
I am a cleric. I don't know how much Bellum would actually care.
Yeah. So you chill out until the sun comes up a few hours later.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun has risen. You're kind of tired, kind of not tired, in that awkward. I've slept, but I haven't slept, and the sun's
didn't
coming
sleep.
up, and I don't know.
Well, I slept. I had like a day sleep. Like,
I mean, you're basically living like you're sleeping on my schedule.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're awake and you're tired and you're cranky all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When morning comes, I'm gonna ask the innkeeper. Say, have you seen a tinker by the name of Pringle pass through? A silly cat and
Blue
silly
guy,
hat
right?
and a cart. What's
Yeah. The guy in blue.
that? I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pointy hat, talks to the cat, puts the cat on the bar.
The last innkeeper complained about that too.
Well,
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up.
people eat off this bar, and that cat's ass is just sitting where the people's drinks go. Maybe it's got worms. Maybe there's going to be worms on my bar now. I mean, it's really disgusting.
Well, I'm trying to catch him. How many days did he pass?
He
Past
stayed
3?
here for a couple of nights. I think he just left yesterday. Yesterday afternoon,
Yes.
actually. You probably missed him by about 8 hours.
Shit. Well, thanks.
Yeah, he was selling something. I don't know. He was trying to sell something to someone in the bar.
Did they buy it? Do you know who?
You know, honestly, I got distracted with drink orders. The guy who he was selling to is still here, though. If you wait a couple hours for him to get up, I'm sure you could ask him some questions.
Yeah, okay.
What's this Pringle guy's story, anyway?
He's an oddball, isn't he?
Tell me about it.
I don't know, but I've got some information that he might be looking for. Thinking
Okay.
maybe to sell it to him. We'll see.
All right. So, do you wait around to meet up with this guy?
I think I do. Yeah, did I get a description?
Yes. He is
Yonder man.
a half elf with short blonde hair and I guess you wouldn't call them pigtails, but like dual ponytails, like
Okay, I know. Yeah.
yeah, like dual ponytails that come down. So instead of having one, he just has two.
But does he not change his style day to day?
He hasn't the last few days that he stayed here. Apparently, he's been here a week.
Okay. All right. So I wait for a dual ponytailed half elf.
Yeah, everything is short except for like the two ponytails in the back,
Oh,
where the sides
really?
are short. Yeah, it's like a super mullet with short sides. The half elf shows up. He's very recognizable. Sits down for some food, and
I approach him.
he looks up and
Greetings. I'm trying to track down my my Pringle. Barkeep said you had some dealings with him the other day. Do you happen to know where he might have gone?
to Darden.
It's none of my business, but I'm curious. What was he trying to sell you?
His cat.
He was trying to sell you his cat? How much?
20 gold.
Did you buy it? Steal. And I walk towards the door.
You walk towards the door.
Selling
And,
Safi?
yeah, something like that.
All right. And I'm going to try and make haste
Okay. Where do you make haste? Towards Darden?
south towards Darden and look. Oh, damn, I lost my map.
Okay. So
Okay, we got Lilith Maw between us and Darden, so hopefully I can catch.
you start heading south, lickety split, and as you do, as you run down through the streets, you see Pringle popping out of one of the shops, cat under arm, heading towards his wagon, and like putting Safi in the or in the cart, and then crawling up next to her.
All right, I run it. I say, "Hey,
looks
you
at-
old bastard!"
Verissa! Oh, if I haven't run into you
Bring-
again.
I shake my head. Here you're trying to sell that ratty thing. Serves a right for putting me to sleep.
Selling? What are you talking about? Oh, you spoke to him.
I nod.
Did he say he was interested?
I don't think he was. I told him he was a fool. Why are you trying to sell Safi?
Not trying to... Get over here, get over here.
And hold on, I'm mad at you
For what?
for leaving me in that barn.
You robbed me of my cart.
I did no such thing.
I think we're just about even here, Miss Verissa. We got
just
you out of
about.
this city last time.
This city, Darden's like 2 cities south of here.
You're in
We're
Rotule.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got you out of Rotule.
got me out of Darden.
You were in Darden?
Yeah,
What the fuck were you doing in Darden?
prison break.
That was in Rotule.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Are you sure?
You've never been to Darden.
Really?
You've never
I
even
don't-
been to Lilith Maw.
I think you're wrong.
No, I'm totally right.
Does anyone
Because
in
remember,
chat
you came up
remember?
along the road between Lilithmon and Mertuli. You saw the guys like posted on the wall because you came up from the south side and then you went to the east side. You're like, hey, is there a body out here? No. Oh, the guys hung on the other wall. Okay.
No,
And then you went
we
down to
came
the.
in from the east.
Yeah. No, you came from the west
Does
into
anyone in
Mertuli.
chat remember?
Dude, I'm totally right.
You're the DM.
I
I don't think I would have just nonchalantly walked in if it were the same city I was from, or the same city I had broken out of.
I mean, this is the place.
I'll buy it for now, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, where were we? We were
I was
saying-
yelling. Pringle and I were we're basically even, I think.
Oh yeah, basically even. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should basically be even here. But
Mhm.
hold on, maybe you spoke with the gentleman,
I did.
Mr.
Trying-
Winkle.
You wizards and your names.
Do you think you could convince him to buy Safi? Safi, just be calm. Hold on. Well, let me explain this. Let me explain it to Marissa. I'm sure once she understands, it'll all make sense. Okay? She's been really good to us so far. Kind of, sort of, not really, but don't look at me like that, Safi. Well, then you can just go sit in the cart.
Is Safi meowing back or is this telepathic or something?
You're not sure. He might just be crazy.
Except for the fact that this cat turned me invisible and put me to sleep.
Except for the fact that the cat turned you invisible and put you to sleep. Yes.
So what's your plan?
Mr. Winkle has some information that we would like. And Safi here would be the perfect spy if we could just convince him to buy her.
Maybe you shouldn't have asked for so much money.
20
20
gold
gold
is a steal for a cat like that.
That's what I told him, but for a regular cat, he probably doesn't
Well-
recognize that Safi's a whatever she is.
Well,
And
how do you feel about getting some information out of him, one way or the other? You're kind of a gun for hire, it seems. A sword for hire. You don't mind getting your hands dirty.
don't mind getting my hands bloody.
Hmm.
This sort of dirt's different matter. What do you want to know?
He kind of looks around and goes, well, can't you just get him into a point where he'll answer questions and then I can ask him some questions?
Do you want me to interrogate this man?
Well, you know, just get him nice and ready so that I can interrogate him. You know, just threaten to bash his head in.
I don't think you want this. I don't think you thought this through. Pringle.
This half elf is the last living descendant of who's Bubba Longshanks?
I know. I remember him being in this campaign, but I don't know who.
Is that the pirate captain? I think it's Captain Long. No,
that is, no.
Captain is the last living descendant of Captain Oswald.
Really now?
Yeah, who's Bubba Longshanks though?
I think he might have been the town guard. No,
I don't know who
don't
Bubba
know.
Longshanks is.
we'll have to watch the VODs.
I'll find out. This is why we need Layla enter recap, guys.
I don't know if Bubba Longshanks would have made the cut for the recap.
Oh,
Oh, he's the fisherman. He's the fisherman. Yes, chat.
Oh, the
Zebby-
fisherman that took you around the lake and
Yeah. Zeke got it first.
good
But
job, Zeke.
Siwawa was close behind.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, this half elf is the last living descendant of Captain Oswald, and as such, I would really like to ask him some questions, but he didn't seem too interested in talking to me, and he really, really didn't want to buy Safi.
Well, I just so happened to have a conversation with Captain Oswald, why not several nights ago.
Captain Oswald's been dead for hundreds of years.
I know that.
You spoke with the dead man.
I did.
I didn't know you were a necromancer.
I have gifts. I guess I have you to thank for locking me in that barn.
What do you mean?
You probably wouldn't be interested.
Wait, hold on. What did you see? What did you really speak to Captain Oswald? Damn it, he
I
should be
did.
Captain Longshanks.
But if I'm going to divulge this information to you, it has to be an exchange of information. You must let me in on, or you must share what you know of Shimmerstone Lake.
I think I've told you everything I know.
Which is precisely nothing.
That once long ago, a portion of the staff that supports the world broke off and fell to the earth here, creating Lake Shimmerstone, named after the bit of the Philosopher's Stone that shimmered through the air and created the lake.
Doesn't everyone know that?
Well, that's the
Is that a
story.
common legend?
I believe that
What does-
it's true, and there's a little bit of the Philosopher's Stone down on the lake still. And I would really like to get my hands on it so that
What does Captain Oswald and the Dragonfly have to do with this?
it was said that Captain Oswald had a ghost ship that could disappear at will and that could not be found. It had no port of harbor and floated around Lake Shimmerstone, raiding and pillaging. And
This is all true, save for one small detail.
Hmm.
It can be found, and I found it.
what?
And I give him a grin.
But no one's seen the dragonfly in hundreds of years. It disappeared.
In about 3 days.
You found the dragonfly?
I shrug. See, I still feel like this isn't much of an exchange of information. I think I'm giving you all the juicy bits.
How about I know how to retrieve the Philosopher's Stone from the seabed, from the lake bed?
And all you need is the dragonfly?
Well, the dragonfly is really the only ship. I mean, I don't need the dragonfly, but it's said that the dragonfly has dragonfly. Well, I kind of figured that it couldn't be found because it was related to the Philosopher's Stone, that it used it to hide away.
Nod.
I was hoping that I wasn't actually hoping to find the dragonfly. I was just hoping to find the location of the Philosopher's Stone, which is, I would expect the dragonfly to know, or at least maybe the descendant of the captain of the dragonfly might know, or might know something about his forefather's last place of burial, where he left the ship. Maybe had some clues.
Perhaps his secret barn?
Secret barn? The place where we had my wagon?
I don't think you need this the Captain Oswald or the Dragonfly. I've got the greatest sea captain in all of Shimmerstone Lake. And his name is Bubba Longshanks. And I think you two should really meet. He'll take you to the Philosopher's Stone.
Didn't he already?
No, what? Bubba Longshanks is the guy that took me. Oh, me. Oh, yeah, he already did meet Bubba Longshanks.
Yeah, he met Bubba.
Yeah. All right,
Bubba,
no,
well, he's certainly a good fisherman, but I don't know if he's a competent sailor. But without the location of the Philosopher's Stone, I can't get to it.
What do you want the Philosopher's Stone for?
To turn Safi back into a person. Safi's my wife. And she's been stuck in cat form for a decade now.
And you tried to sell her off?
I wasn't selling her.
Safi. You
She was going
deserve
to be a
better.
spy.
All right. Well,
So what? Get some. If you can help me find out information from this guy, I will help you find the whatever it is, and all you can have everything that you find, all the treasure of Captain Oswald and the Dragonfly, as long as I can get the Philosopher's Stone to turn Safi, well, to restore her to what she was before.
I thought Philosopher's Stone turned like lead into gold or bitches into riches or something like that.
And no. The Philosopher's Stone, my friend, simply amplifies existing magical forces greatly. Once I get the stone, I can return to our home and use it to restore Staffy to her normal state.
All right then. What do you need to know from this elf?
I was hoping that he could tell me the location of the Dragonfly, or any of its equipment or gear, or I mean, I just figure the descendant of Captain Oswald would know something about the Dragonfly, Captain Oswald, and the location of the stone. I don't have any specific questions. I was just kind of hoping to shake him up and get everything he knows out of him.
You're desperate.
Well,
Well-
wouldn't you if you hadn't been able to lie with your wife like man and woman for 10
Stop,
years?
you're making me sick.
Think I like dressing up in these ridiculous blue robes? She's the wizard. I just try and make it appear as if it isn't a cat casting spells on people. It seems to have been working so far.
Did you try asking this guy about his great grandfather or whatever?
I figured he wouldn't, willingly part with that information, so
I walk directly back into the bar and sit down next to this elf.
you see Pringle pull the cart up to the bar, but kind of hang out outside. The elf is in there, just having finished his food, pushing his plate away, leaning back, patting his belly. Keeps an eye on you as you come in.
Yeah, I approach him.
What do you want again?
So, Pringle tells me you're the descendant of the captain of the Dragonfly, Captain Oswald.
He raped my great grandmother.
Oh, goodness.
My
Still, do you...
grandmother was raised by him until she got away.
So not one of your proudest family histories?
What are you doing here? You trying to write another story on me? Got another bit of history? What's your purpose?
To be honest, the kooky old man just wants to know. You know, wizards. But he was too bashful to come in and ask you himself.
So he tried to sell me a cat?
I don't know.
All right. And you want to know what? Where his lost treasure is?
Essentially. Or anything, you know.
If I knew where the lost treasure of Captain Oswald is, do you think I'd just be sitting here?
That's what I
hanging out?
figured. I think he was maybe hoping for, I don't know, secret beach house or favorite rock to sit on and skip stones.
Give me a perception check.
20 plus 8 is a no-go.
It's a no-go. Okay. Well, I wish I could tell you something useful, but it's just a part of history now.
No juicy tidbits on family history. even an interesting story may titillate the man enough to have him leave you alone.
Well, they say the treasure of Captain Oswald and the Dragonfly is the treasure of hundreds of ships sunk to the bottom of Shimmerstone Lake from way back when. Dragonfly is supposed to have accrued all sorts of wealth and riches and hidden it somewhere in its secret port. Where that is, no one really knows. I have my own theories, but I won't be telling you them.
So you are after the treasure.
What man isn't after the treasure, but I've got no better head start than anyone else.
Very well. What did you say your name was?
I didn't. But my family name has changed. We don't like to take the human side. We prefer the elven name of Winkle.
Oh, yeah. So, well, Captain Winkle, my name is Marissa. Extend a hand.
He shakes
Perhaps-
it, gets to his feet.
Perhaps I'll see you on the lake. And give him a wink.
Perhaps.
Wink for the Winkle.
And all right, you head back out of the bar,
Yeah.
and sitting out there is Pringle and Safi.
Mhm.
He kind of has his ear to the door as you walk out, and goes, "You fool! You didn't get anything out of him. Now he knows we're after him and after his information. Now he's not like
I
to tell
have
us
all the
anything."
information. Come, let's go.
He follows behind you, kind of sputtering the whole way. But now he's never going to tell us anything unless you've revealed our whole plan to him.
I revealed nothing. He doesn't seem to know much.
I bet he was just lying to you. If he's after the treasure, he must know something.
Perhaps.
So
we beat
so
it
what's
out of
the
him?
plan?
Don't you want to see the dragonfly?
You actually found it?
Would I lie to you?
Yes.
Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
You got food in this thing? I look in the back of the wagon.
He nods. The back of it looks kind of like a traveling merchant shop, as I said before. There's all sorts of weird, kooky stuff in there, including a couple of live chickens, which, if you'll remember, you had stolen from him at your very first meeting. You literally walked away with one of his chickens.
I didn't actually get around to stealing it.
No.
Tried and it woke up.
Yeah.
Failed my tame chicken check or whatever that was.
Yeah. People try and sell us live chickens here all the time, and we don't know what to do with them.
It's
Like,
as fresh as it's gonna get, but like, what are you gonna butcher that in your own kitchen?
I don't know. But you go to a place like a market, and there's some like cut up chicken and goose in front of you, and you're like, ooh, I want that, but I don't want the goose, I want the chicken. And so you point to the live chicken, and then you point to the goose, you're like, do you have any chicken meat? And then they like reach in, like try and pull you out a chicken, and you're like, no.
Maybe they'd slaughter and pluck it for you right there.
That would take a while.
I don't
How
know.
long does
I
it
wouldn't be
take to pluck a
surprised if they've got
chicken?
like some crazy skills from like plucking chickens nonstop all day, and they just like skin it in a couple of
Maybe.
minutes.
Maybe. Anyway,
Should we go to a break? Are we doing one more segment? What's
Um,
going on? I need
oh
to
yeah,
write
because it is
Winkle's
an
name on
odd
my
hour
character
for
sheet.
you. Yeah, let's cut here, and we'll come back with Pringle and see what you're going to do with him in just a few minutes. See you guys later. Oh god, my mouse froze.